Greetings everyone, and welcome to my YouTube channel. I'm your host, Captain Rye, and today's YouTube video has got me back in the HMS HOOD, premium Tier 7 battleship here in World of Warships. Now this is not an amendment or a follow-up to my review of the HMS HOOD. My opinions on that ship still remain the same. And in fact, this battle was actually played before the battle that I used for my review of the HOOD. As the battle gets underway, it's the estuary map, and it's standard battle mode. And standard battle mode here is going to be very, very important at the end of this game. Now, I've come over to the east side of the map here, and I'm not alone. I do have some backup here. I get detected by an enemy destroyer who pops his smokescreen there, and it looks like we've got friendly ships putting torpedoes into that smokescreen, which is good. But of course, I am being detected by aircraft, very annoyed by that, and it's allowing the enemy to basically lob shots through that smokescreen and over that mountain and set me on fire. Put the fire out as I'm no longer detected, which means I shouldn't be taking any more incoming shots anytime soon, so I feel it's safe to put that out now rather than lose that health and have to repair it. Enemy team manages to secure a first blood, but we take out one of their destroyers as compensation for that pretty much at the same time. Now, I've got myself a couple of ships, mostly cruisers, coming around this corner. I take shots right between the two mountain peaks on that island there and manage to triple citadel that Murmansk. I don't know how I managed to do that, because it looked like he was kind of turning away and possibly angled. If you watched my HOOD review, you'll know that the guns on this ship are particularly trollish when you're trying to guarantee a citadel. And I can honestly say that a broadside cruiser guaranteeing citadels is not something that happens like the shots that hit that cruiser. Oh, RNGesus, why you do this to me? Enemy team now down 3 ships to my team's 1. And for the most part, their team seems to be concentrated very much so at their base, but also back on the west side of the map. Now, enemy ships have popped a smokescreen up there in the cap, so we know that there's a probability of a destroyer. We know there was a Leander up there as well, so British cruiser with smoke. My team on this side is actually doing pretty decently. There are a lot of cruisers over here putting in that support, and there's friendly smokescreen as well for some of these cruisers to use. Now, because of the amount of firepower that's back over and concentrating onto that group of cruisers there, I've decided that I do not want to push in with them. Instead, opting to turn and go back towards our base. And part of the reason for turning and going back towards our base is that the enemy destroyer was last spotted kind of up near that channel. And I'm concerned that he might be trying to make a run on our base. So if that's the case, I'd like to get up here and at the very least confirm that he is detecting me and maybe get into a position where I can shoot at him and call for backup. Additionally, I want to head back this direction because there are a lot of ships that are pushing around the west-east side of the map there, and they are in a position to challenge our base. We've basically flanked each other, and both are now putting pressure on the enemy base. Enemy HOOD up here, broadside onto me, and this is where I kind of make one tiny little mistake here. I'm trying to turn in on the inside of this island because I haven't spotted that destroyer yet, and I'd like to turn back and start putting pressure on the enemy base and possibly cap. Fire shots off here, and that's when the enemy destroyer that I was looking for popped up. Managed to get some solid penetrations onto the HMS Hood, but haven't managed to citadel it. Again, the ship citadeling battleships just doesn't happen. The secondary guns are blazing away on this destroyer, but of course, I don't have manual secondaries on this ship. It's just not worth it. Ship just doesn't have enough quality secondaries to do much about it. Managed to hit the destroyer, but only for one overpin, not enough to kill him. So as I'm backing up, I'm turning my ship to bow onto him, mostly because the torpedoes I was expecting him to have launched. Take two of them. Fortunately, he's a German destroyer, so they don't do that much damage, which is good. Pop my repair, pop my damage control ability to immediately stop the flooding that did occur. Now, as I come around this island here, I'm actually expecting to see this destroyer sitting there, but he's actually been taken out by the friendly Graf Spee. So that means that there are no more enemy destroyers left, and that basically gives me the opportunity to push up and be a little more aggressive now that I don't have to worry about cheeky torpedo boats deciding to YOLO run me down with the Hood's guns. That's a very viable tactic, unless the Hood manages to detonate you with a secondary shot, which is highly unlikely if you come at it from the bow. The enemy team still pushing up on the east side of the map, but it kind of looks like we've got the possibility of being able to stall them, as we do have a couple of friendly battleships up there, and they really shouldn't have too much issue causing problems for them. Trying to decide what target to shoot at here, and this Colorado is looking like he's going to be a lovely target to shoot at. He's mostly broadside on, so I get shots off there, and I managed to do a good amount of damage with penetrations, but again, no citadels. Really, really disappointing that this ship's guns just cannot citadel a battleship, and the citadels onto cruisers are so inconsistent. It's very, very frustrating to deal with. But finally, putting pressure onto the enemy base, this is effectively forcing any of the ships that aren't on the east side, up on the east side, to turn around, come back, and fight me. But pay attention to the minimap. There is a ship that's up there on the east side, and that's an enemy Scharnhorst. That enemy Scharnhorst has managed to deal with one of the two battleships that was up there fighting him. And from the looks of it, he might be going for a ram, which would be okay. I'd be perfectly fine with that. But pay attention to the minimap, because that Scharnhorst is not going to go for a ram. In fact, he's actually going to kill the second battleship that's dealing with him up there, which is going to leave him wide open to take our base. Get more shots off here at the Hood. I'm trying my best to angle at him. Of course, the Hood at this kind of range, when angled, has pretty good bow armor, so she's not going to take too much damage, but she's got a big superstructure there, and that could be a serious problem. Enemy Scharnhorst manages to finish off our friendly battleship that was up there dealing with him, and now he is in perfect position to go and cause problems at our base. Enemy team manages to kill even more ships, and they are now in the ship's lead. And at this point, the battle's starting to get kind of desperate. I have this enemy Hood who's pushing up, and it looks like he's going for a ram, so I'm turning in to maybe try and avoid him. Come on. She may be a long ship, but she's got good maneuverability as we basically get close enough to conduct a boarding party. Shots out at the Colorado to finish him off, and I get turned around to try and get back in the base. Come on. Finish off that Hood. Can we do it? Can we finish him off? Secondaries blazing away, and of course from the stern, the secondaries have the best arcs. Finish the enemy Hood off with a close quarters expert, which is fantastic. Enemy team now down to just 3 ships, and we know where all 3 of them are. One of them is the Scharnhorst that's up near our base, but it's okay. We have a friendly battleship who's gone up to deal with him. So I have every confidence in his ability to take care of the problem. But we have 2 cruisers that are back over here. We have a Graf Spee, which is closing in with our Gneisenau. Now, Gneisenau, Graf Spee, at this kind of range, you know they're both launching torpedoes at each other, and that is basically a neutral exchange as they both manage to kill each other. But our team in good position as we still have 3 ships to their 2, not anymore, enemy. Scharnhorst at our base manages to kill our friendly battleship that was going up there to deal with him. Well, we started capping before he was able to get into the cap because this enemy cruiser is constantly hitting me and resetting me. That means our cap progress is being contested, is being stunted. And as a result, that enemy Scharnhorst, really all he has to do is sit there long enough to gain an advantage with the cap progress. Now, there is a friendly cruiser on my team that's back over here who could help me, but he's a Graf Spee and he's very, very slow compared to the Hood, which means he's not going to be able to get into the cap with enough time. Managed to finish off that cruiser with a Citadel again. Wasn't expecting it, but happy that it happened because it needed to. But because the enemy team now has more cap progress than I do, there's only one way to win this game. At this point, I have to go and reset the cap progress on that battleship. And really, I don't have to kill him, I just have to reset him long enough for the Graf Spee to get up into the cap. All I have to do is contest him long enough and force either that battleship, that Scharnhorst, to come deal with Graf Spee, or sit and win on points. Now, the Hood is a fast battleship, which means it's probably one of the only 2 battleships capable of performing this maneuver, because with the speed flag, again, she'll get 33.7 knots. So I'm going to leave the cap, and I'm taking the shortest route, because I know he's in that cap, and I know anywhere that I pop out from the side of this island, he will be visible. All I have to do is hit him once. Again, though, the trollish nature of these guns, that could be a problem. I'm only going to get 1 shot at this because he'll probably be able to cap out before I'm able to get my guns reloaded. So I get my guns turned. I'm expecting him to be hugging this island as close as he can while still in the cap. Come on, where is he? I need him to pop up. I'm detected. There he is. He's got not a lot of health left. He fires shots off. I get shots out there. I gotta hit him. Yes, I managed to kill him. What the fuck? Okay, I'll take it. I'll take it for a 115,000 damage Kraken Unleashed win, which was probably more surprising to the enemy team in that situation. Still though, 115,000 damage, or just shy of that, done. Close Quarters Expert Devastating Strike, and Kraken Unleashed, 5 kills. A good number of Citadels in that battle. Top of the team for XP earned at just under 2,000 base XP. Definitely putting me way up there. And of course, with a Kraken Unleashed, you wouldn't expect anything less. Anyway, that's it for today's video, folks. If you liked the video, hit that like button, hit the subscribe button, leave a comment down below. If you'd like to get semi-regular channel news and updates, you can do so by liking and following me on Facebook. If you'd like to help support me and the channel, I encourage you to become my supporter on Patreon. Any support level will grant you early access to some of my World of Warships replays and files. If you've got a replay like this one that you'd like to see on my channel, you can send it to my email. And if you'd like to watch me play World of Warships, among other games, live, usually Sundays at about 10 a.m. Pacific Standard or Pacific Daylight Time, you can do so by following me on Twitch. You can find the links for all of those in the video descriptions down below. And as always, I'll see you next time. This is Captain Rye, signing off.